This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we have a great Power Pundit panel. As always, Murray Lau is here, President and CEO of the Retail Association of Nevada, one of our proud sponsors. Mike Bosma, President of the Bosma Group, and Marcia Burke-Bigler with Sierra Business Strategies. Pleasure to have all of you. So, your thoughts on what George was talking about with this lawsuit?
Well, I can see why George appeared confused, because the whole bill is confusing. We were trying to debate if they could have done an amicus brief or something. I think it has to be changed. I think the whole health care issue, once it settles down, you know, when Nancy Pelosi says you're going to love it, we need to pass this bill so you can find out what's in it, that probably was not the first clue that we had problems. So it does have to be readdressed. There's several lawsuits going out there, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to get things together to file this particular lawsuit, because right now there's so much money that's being asked of people. I don't know how they get it, but it'll be interesting. But it was a very confusing presentation.
You know, as an interviewer, you know, I felt I should have been a constitutional lawyer to be able to understand all of that.
Yeah, well, I think not only is the issue confusing, but also I think that the lawsuit's confusing as well, as far as, you know, what are the grounds for the lawsuit. I think November's going to be a good time to rejigger things through the electoral cycle, and maybe that's where some clarity will come out, because I think most people are just thinking they'll change it when we vote that other people in office that will fix it. I haven't talked to many people who are really in support of the bill at all. Hopefully it'll be easier to change through an electoral cycle rather than just you know, a lawsuit.
Well, it seemed to me to be more of a political appearance than it was a constitutional appearance.
I don't think there's any question that that's true all the time with anything that is going on with Obamacare or any of the other policies that are coming out. There's so much effort, not just in the state of Nevada, but nationally, to change things that we were changing in the last election. So it did seem like it's political, because George generally is right on, and he didn't seem like even he understood clearly what was going on with this lawsuit.
Your final thoughts on this, Scott?
You know, I was kind of surprised that that they used Obama as part of the leverage on this, and I thought that was probably not necessary, and might have actually awakened some other players that might not have been positive for what George was looking for.
Your organization came out with its retail index. How much trouble are we in as of today?
Yeah, it's still going down. If you read the retail index and stuff, things are not stabilizing in the industry, and we're not growing. You know, so we said all along that the economy would probably be a W, but now it's starting to look like a cardiac machine. It hasn't flatlined, but we're going up and down and up and down. But unfortunately, the downs are. You know.
Does government have a role to play in this?
Oh, I don't feel that government should be involved in business. I'm sorry, but I do believe in the free market system. I do believe in entrepreneurialism and stuff like this. There are certain areas where government has a role, and then there's areas where they've exceeded their authority, and you can ruin anything by exceeding your authority.
So, Mike, the pain will just continue for a while.
Well, it'll continue if government, actually I think government can have a role, and that is to bring back some of the bureaucracy they put on, particularly small businesses and large businesses alike, make it a little bit easier to be in business, and I think that alone will kind of get things going again, just make it easy to get in business.
You know, it's interesting when I hear people talking about a double-dip recession. I don't believe we've come out of the first one yet.
I don't either. No. Clearly, we haven't come out of it yet, and I think lots of people are feeling that way. When you look at the statistics just in Nevada, 14.3% right now, and that's not even the actual figure, which is probably somewhere over 20% of the people are unemployed. And now we're looking at, and I think this is the point George might have been trying to make, and now we're looking at adding more taxes through, we're looking at forcing you to purchase health care. With what? People are losing their homes. We have one of the highest foreclosure rates in the nation. People are losing their homes. They don't have jobs. There are no jobs out there in this state. So if government has a role in all of this, it's trying to figure out how we get more jobs into the state of Nevada.
And Marcia brings up an interesting point, which is that the true unemployment numbers are way over 20%. Was it that bad in your time during the Miller administration?
You know, I don't remember it being this bad. Honestly, I think this is far worse than what we saw.
All right, let's change topics here, and don't have a lot of detail at this point, but Rory Reid said he was going to issue his plan to balance the budget without raising taxes. Some of the key points that came out this morning: slashing the number of state agencies and departments by nearly 40% for a saving of $47.8 million, downsizing at the top by reducing staffing of elected officials and cut administrative overhead by 50%, another $73.8 million, reinventing state government for the 21st century, would save $680 million by eliminating separate bureaucracies and unnecessary administrators, and more of the same. I just did a quick calculation in my head, and it comes to about $1.5 billion. That's not even close.
Yeah, well, when you say you're not going to raise taxes, are you talking about not allowing the sunset to occur, too? I mean, there's some gamesmanship and wordsmanship going on, because there's taxes in place that are supposed to go away, and that would bring up your figures. The interesting part of this is the Gibbons administration has been doing the background work on that for a couple of years now, on the trimming the state agencies, on combining areas and reducing overhead. But it's kind of like the map that they've got out there for the federal government, wherever you push on anything and you can see the percentage of the budgets. The percentages of those budgets, I mean, I have been told, and I would have to go to Carol Villari to find out if I know what I'm talking about, you could eliminate everything and you still can't pay for K through 12 and Medicare.
But you can roll back transparentnevada.com. You look at how much dollars are rolling out just for the benefit package for public employees, and they do a great job, but you need to right size it. Those benefit packages were rolled off in the private sector 10-20 years ago. That's an easy fix. Give everybody a 10% raise and cut the retirement benefit. I mean, it's just, you look at how much that costs, it's insane. Roughly 25% of every dollar we pay in salaries going out in retirement benefits.
It's an easy fix unless you're retired.
Right.
And that's where we have to leave it. Obviously, we will be discussing this much more and looking forward to Brian Sandoval's plan as well. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this time out.
On the next face-to-face, gubernatorial candidate Rory Reid will be here. He's got his own plan to balance Nevada's budget, I think. We'll ask him if he has it when we hear from him on the next face-to-face.